Gina, thank you. Breaking news this Friday morning. President Trump and the First Lady have both tested positive for the coronavirus. And their positive diagnosis comes just 2 days after the first presidential debate, 1 day after the Trump rally in Duluth, Minnesota, and then the same day the president visited his golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey for a fundraiser. The president and First Lady tweeting about their diagnosis early this morning, saying they are now quarantining at home at the White House and have postponed all upcoming events, but that they are feeling good. Joe Biden has just tweeted, "Jill and I send our thoughts to President Trump and First Lady Melania for a swift recovery. We will continue to pray for the health and safety of the president and his family." The president's physician says both the president and First Lady are well right now.
Yeah, that's good news. Navy Commander Dr. Sean Conley says the White House medical team will, of course, be maintaining a vigilant watch over the president and First Lady, and that they expect the president to be able to continue carrying out his duties without disruption while he recovers and, most importantly, Scott, quarantines from others.
Yeah, you're right. And one of the president's top aides, Hope Hicks, tested positive yesterday. Or I believe the day before, and there are concerns this morning about just how many West Wing staffers may have been exposed. So we have team coverage tracking this story this Friday morning. Aaron is live with how the president's diagnosis will affect his planned events here in Arizona. But first, Javi joins us with a look at possible bigger outbreak because of this.
Yeah, good morning, Scott. This morning, the vice president says he and the second lady, Karen Pence, have both been tested and they are negative for COVID-19. The first case, though, as you just mentioned, came from one of the White House aides, Hope Hicks. She had been traveling with the president on Air Force One multiple times this week alone, including for the debates in Cleveland on Tuesday and then that campaign rally in Minnesota Wednesday. The timeline of the president's contraction to COVID-19 is unclear because Hicks had started experiencing coronavirus symptoms not until yesterday. White House aides have called the president the most tested man in the country, and Hicks has been tested just about every day as she travels with the president. So it is reported that she tested negative Wednesday morning before the trip to Minnesota for that Trump rally and was not showing any symptoms. The White House has now issued a statement saying the president takes the health and safety of himself and everyone who works in support of him and the American people very seriously. White House operations collaborates with the physician to the president and the White House military office to ensure all plans and procedures incorporate current CDC guidance and best practices for limiting COVID-19 exposure to the greatest extent possible, both on complex and when the president is traveling. This morning, White House officials say contact tracing has been done and the appropriate notifications and recommendations have been made. The diagnosis is now raising a red flag on a potential cluster of cases. So at the rally in Minnesota, the president threw MAGA hats into the crowd, and 30 other family and friends and advisors that had been traveling with the president this week include White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, the president's lawyer and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, White House Press Secretary, the president's children, and several more campaign advisors, including Chris Christie. So the 74-year-old president has mocked 77-year-old former Vice President Joe Biden several times for wearing face coverings, including at the debate on Tuesday night.
Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Many people are now drawing attention to video showing the president's family ignoring those mandatory mask rules at the debate, taking their masks off as they sat down. Now, it's important to note, many of the people in the audience were spaced a few feet apart, but some were right next to each other, and all the audience, they sat for about 2 hours or so. Meanwhile, the vice president, who tested negative, has tweeted his his warm regards, saying that he and the second lady joined millions across America praying for their full and swift recovery of the president and first lady. God bless you, President Trump, and our wonderful first lady, Melania. So what is next for the president, especially here in the state of Arizona? Ernie is joining us live with updates on what was supposed to be the presidential visit next week.
Yeah, the president's his last visit was here to the Arizona Grand Resort. Now, he was scheduled to make 2 stops in the state just next week, but now all of those plans and his campaign events are really up in the air. Now, the president is currently isolating with the First Lady. Now, he was set to be in Flagstaff and Tucson on Monday. Now, his campaign events not officially canceled just yet, but there's a possibility they could become virtual events, or that another member of his campaign would step in and attend. Now, we've reached out to the campaign to see what the plans are moving forward. No word yet. But on the Democratic side, former Vice President Joe Biden is also planning to visit Arizona. Now, it was announced just yesterday that the Democratic nominee and Kamala Harris will be coming to Arizona next Thursday. Now, details of that trip are still unknown, but the Biden campaign has been holding more of their campaign events virtually rather than in person. And right now we're working to get more information from the Biden's campaign on whether or not they still intend on visiting the state next week. We're also working to get more information on President Trump's travel plans moving forward. Reporting live, I'm Ernie LeBeau for Arizona's Family.
And, of course, people out there, as you guys have probably seen, jumping all over this, saying it's fake news and this and that. And it is serious because of the unknown, so we hope that they are doing well.
Absolutely. Ernie, thank you.
Yeah, so news of the president and the first lady contracting the coronavirus is sending the stock market futures tumbling. Dow futures fell more than 400 points throughout the night after President Trump tweeted that he and his wife tested positive for COVID-19.
NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures also dropped around 2%. Scott, stock futures started dropping yesterday after Hope Hicks had tested positive for the virus. Of course, we will bring you a live look at trading as soon as it begins in just a few minutes at 6:30 Arizona time. So we will continue to follow the new updates coming out of our nation's capital on the president and first lady and how it will impact business and operations in the White House and also the campaign for the White House. You can count on Arizona's Family to keep you updated on coronavirus and the impact on the election and life here in Arizona. Joe Biden's campaign saying the former vice president will be tested this morning, so we will share information with you as we get it. You can download our free AZ Family mobile news app to send alerts straight to you when we find out those results.